Hey everybody, it's Karalyn with Everything Music, making a new episode of the podcast. I want to introduce to you guys Joey Nugent,
Hello, everybody.
rigger extraordinaire, drummer, co-founder of the Nugefest, and he's got a lot going on. And we're right here in Cape Canaveral at his warehouse, and it's pretty cool in here. His new warehouse.
Yeah, just moving into this one.
Yeah.
Nightmare, but it's getting
Yeah,
done.
it's like really cool. You did all this in 5 days.
Yeah, literally.
All by yourself?
Not totally. A couple of the heavy things that people have, but most of it, yes, every piece of it.
It's pretty
been
awesome.
something.
So, what was your first stint in the music industry?
When I was younger, I got in some bands playing in the punk bands and stuff in high school, and then one of them went more commercial and got pretty serious, and that kind of fell apart. And I ended up down in Florida in my early 20s, and that was a big scene in Fort Lauderdale, going everywhere. Like everybody's playing somewhere. So played in a couple crappy bands down there, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And everything was original back then, which I remember. And they make you sell your own tickets or give tickets out on the beach.
Oh, wow.
And they give you so much money for it. It was pretty shady from the way they did it. But every bar had bands in them. And then the DJs came along and it kind of killed the whole scene.
Oh, okay.
And around that point, all my friends started getting jobs and, doing real life stuff. And I refused to do that. So I kind of ended up on a cruise ship for 3 months. And I met a girl from Holland.
Oh, wow.
She was on there too, and we ended up moving she moved in with me in Fort Lauderdale for a while, and we moved to the Netherlands for 6 years. And while I was over there, I had already done some stage building and stuff with the bigger concerts in Miami and stuff. And it was just a casual job that we were going to make money. But the company that did it was a Stageco, and they were from Belgium. And while I was in Holland, they opened up the EU, which means if you had a green card in Holland, you could work anywhere in Europe. So I got on a train and I went to their warehouse and walked in the door and asked them for a job. They thought I was crazy because that's not how it works in Europe. You have to go through all kinds of things. And as I'm getting told no by the person at the front desk, the guy I worked with in Miami, the crew chief, was walking out of the warehouse door and he recognized me and I waved to him. And he goes, what are you doing here? And I said, I'm trying to get a job. And he goes, I guess I got my green card. And he goes, oh, Elise, put him on my crew. And she looked at me and she goes, I guess it does work that way. And I was off on the AC/DC tour a week later for three months.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So it worked just like that.
Just like that. And then from there it went to, I came home for like a couple days after that, and they put me on another one, which was only supposed to be a couple of weeks, and it turned out to be like 9 months.
Wow.
So when I came back home, there was a guy sitting in my house with my Jack Russell on his lap and my lazy boy watching my television, and it's pretty crappy time.
That
But
hurts.
what the hell, man? I had a good job and I had some fun and making some money at the time. So it was a bittersweet thing because you had two things in the world that you care about happening. Like, you find a woman in your dreams, you'd sell everything and you go to this country, you're speaking in a foreign language. I mean, I was sitting in classroom at 32 or 33 years old learning to speak Dutch. A language I was probably never going to learn again.
Like why would you
use it? Because they all speak English mostly. And I was in the classroom with Kurt Warner at the time too, who was he played for the Amsterdam Admirals. And he ended up being the Cardinals, I believe, football quarterback.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we were when I came back to the States, I was working at one of the Super Bowls, and they were in it. And they were playing at Pittsburgh, I believe. And I was in a restaurant, and he walked in with his wife, and the Pittsburgh guys were all screaming at him. And this guy's classy. He got the waitress, and he says, how much is the bill for these people? It's like a $5,000 bill. And he paid it. So don't tell him I did that.
Wow.
And but I talked to him. I walked up to him and started speaking Dutch to him, and he just looked at me.
Wow.
And he's like, "How do you, what?" And I asked him, "How's your Dutch?" I asked him in Dutch, and he just looked at me. He's like, "How do you know that?"
He's like,
and I said, "I was in class with you. Don't you remember?" I was the only other white guy in America because everybody else was like Iraqis that were displaced or something that were over there. So we're in there, and he goes, "Oh, you're that roadie guy," and I go, "Yeah, that guy plays football, right? Like American football." And he just laughed, and that was it. It was kind of funny moment, but yeah, I mean, it's been a journey, and I mean, I don't know if I could do it over again if I had a chance to, because I don't
Right.
know. It's just, I got out a lot of places pretty lucky.
Yeah. There was no like plan. It just kind of
No, it just kind of unfolded, and I just kind of, it was literally like jumping off of one sinking rock to the next, and hoping you can get to the other side. I can see the other side now, but it's still a little bit of a, journey here, to say the
And
least.
you got like a million stories about all.
Oh my God, I wrote a novel. But I ended up coming back to America in 2003, and it was different. I moved back to Fort Lauderdale, and the whole scene was gone at that time. So my friends were all gone from there. They got married, or they were dead, or they moved somewhere else. So the very first night back, actually, I was in a hotel room on the beach in Sunrise, and I went out and just to smell the ocean and look at it again, because I spent a lot of time on the beach when I was living there. And I remember looking out and just thinking, man, I'm right back where I started from 6 years ago. Here I am. But there was a lot of things that happened in that time, And all of a sudden, I got two cops coming. I could feel the presence coming up behind me. And they started like giving me a hard time and they asked me, what am I doing? And I just looked at them and I said, what does it look like? I'm standing on the beach. And they said, well, you're not allowed on the beach. And I laughed. I thought they were kidding with me. And they said, no, you're not allowed on the beach. What kind of thing is that to say to somebody? And apparently since 9/11, they were allowed to make up their own, whatever they felt like saying to people. Some kind of thing where I said, you show me in the law book where it says it.
Yeah.
And they go, well, where's your identification? And the only thing I had in my pocket for some reason was my driver's license, but it was from Holland, and it literally folded out. It was like, it was like that big. And the guy's like, I don't know what this is. And I go, well, it says right there, it's a driver's license. It says it right there in English, because it says it in a lot of different languages. And it's international, so it's good for here. And he goes, well, I'm showing that you have an expired driver's license. And I go, that's because I don't live here anymore. And, you're not allowed to have two different driver's licenses. And so they gave me a really, really hard time, like way more than I thought they would want to. And I decided right there that I'm not even staying the next 2 days that I had booked in this thing. And I got my rental car, I drove up here to Cocoa Beach and see my mom. My mom had a place. And I never really hung out in this town until then. Like I used to come through it and have a beer at Brassey's or whatever, when they played Jonathan's. And I was like, man, this is a cool little vibe. And honestly, being in the kind of lifestyle I was in for that time I was in it, at that time, it was like, we were in all the big cities and all the middle of towns, all the nice hotels, all these places. And it wasn't something that I needed a break, mentally and physically. So I was like, yeah, this is good. I can go to a beach. I can turn things off now. The town does shut down, at night for the most part. So, I just ended up renting an apartment here and just now it's been 20 years or so I've been here, 22 years so I can think about it. And, it was good. I started working with some local companies that do production and stuff, and I ended up getting we would do like a gypsy steel crew that we would go and just get on the road and we'd go camping all over the United States during the season. And I tried to get in with Stageco over here in America, because they do have a branch here, and they wouldn't hire me because nobody knew me. And I thought, well, I'm working for the parent company, just check it out. And that's just if you don't know somebody personally, you weren't getting in, and that's how it still is. So I really didn't care. I just kept working until one day, one of the Belgian guys was over and he said some stuff, and he didn't realize that I spoke Dutch.
Oh, wow.
And when I let him have it, like back in his own language, and also told him that I'm going to tell the crew what he was just saying about everybody, and they're going to tear him apart. So he got a little embarrassed, and then he walked away, and then the crew chief asked me what happened just now. And I said, I just fired your guy. Well, who do I call to get on? And he laughed at me. He said, call the office, tell him Farley told you to call him. So I called the office. They took that kid and put him on another crew. They don't fire you. In this business, they just recycle you to somebody else so you're not fighting with that person, you know.
Yeah.
So I ended up on the Roger Waters tour, and then from there I worked for them for another 6 or 7 years, and did Taylor Swift and Metallica bills and a lot of cool shit. And in that, you know, we met other people in different things. Just did some production stuff. I was fortunate enough to do like, you know, the Stones rehearsals and, you know, private parties and just really shit that people just don't get to see. Or even in like, you know, stadiums. Like, I mean, who do you know? You can know somebody who works at a stadium but is never going to be on the roof of it or climbing in the beams of it. You're not allowed to do that, you know, even if you work there. So we've seen a lot of back areas that people don't get, you know, to experience. And, you know, I spend a good part of my work day like shitting in my pants because it's a lot of high work, and I'm not exactly, you know, I'm not afraid of heights, but I'm still concerned about them. And I kind of just learned how to control my gut feeling that like, oh my God, to freak out. And it took a while because if you freeze up on there, you're not going back out there for a long time. They're not going to let you out there. So you have to just smile and pretend everything's cool while you're in the beginning. You're like raging in your mind. Get you in the right mindset to do it. You know?
Mean because everything's at heights? Or,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Some people it just makes them nervous looking over the side of a building. You know?
I know I would. Yeah.
It does, and I used to be exactly like really nervous. But then, or if you feel wind up there, you like it feels like for some reason always pushing you off. Like it's a mental thing. And I had a Native American guy I worked with in Houston, and he was telling me like, you know, listen, it's a frame of mind. You just have to understand. Your body's not going to want to let you fall. Your mind's just, you know, your mind's freaking with you, but your body wants to stay alive. It's not going to let you walk off for no reason, you know. And so he said, look at it like you're walking down a sidewalk. You don't have to be scared walking down there. You're just going from here to there. So look where you're going. Don't even look down. Just look where you're going and go there. And it actually works, you know. It works. Yeah, it's like riding a motorcycle. When you're going to a turn, you're looking where you're going, and you're not looking at the road in front of you. So
I guess that's a good point.
It really messed with my mind for a while, and a lot of guys that I worked with to this day don't even know this. That I was like, you know, scared in the first couple of years. I mean, now I'm still concerned, but I mean, now it's a lot more safe too. We clip in and stuff. But when I started, they would call you names if you put a harness on. They literally say, you know, you're afraid, you know, whatever.
Really? For like safety purposes.
Yeah, because I mean, these guys are all alpha males that are trying to see who's the hardest one out there, you know. And there's a lot of them that are pretty hard asses, you know what I mean?
Right.
And well, they're all dead. Those ones. I'm just kidding.
I mean, you did tell me some people.
Yeah, no, there's
doing,
definitely some
you know,
tragic moments, and that's, you know. It's a production. It's fast paced, and you're in and out. So that not all the rules are like they would build a house. And OSHA, if they would be allowed on jobs, half the time they wouldn't see a concert that night. You know what I mean? And it's not that they're doing it on purpose. It's just there's a time restraint, and what we build are temporary structures, and they try to build them in a safe and like fast way. But there's some dodgy shit that happens. I mean, there's, you know, you can't
make it happen.
Right. I mean, you know, it's sometimes you got to just look the other way from it. Let me get that in there. Okay, we're good. You know, and that's how it is. You know. So
the sets can be pretty high.
Well, with that type of thing, I was doing a lot with the stage building part of it. If we were doing basically outdoor shows, so it would be like a big world tour that would go out, say like I don't know, Metallica or Taylor Swift or something. They have these Beyonce. They have these giant, elaborate stages. So what we would do is we come in on a Monday and start putting up with cranes the towers and the stage, the basic format of the stage. Now, production would come in probably, if the show was on Friday night, they'd probably come in on Thursday and they start. So we'd get done in about 3 days of the basic structure, like we get the roof on and all that. And that is so that there's something for production to hang their lights from, you know, or the sound, because they can't just clip it into the clouds. It doesn't work that way. So we give them a structure to go off of. At that point, we're like kind of babysitting the stage until it's over. And there might be something that somebody wants moved around here and there. So they have like skeleton crews at that point for the show. And, you know, sometimes you're picked to be the guy who's there for the show. And sometimes you're the guy who comes in for the day shift before the show, and you come in at night to take it down for the load out. So it depends on what you're doing. And like Guns N' Roses was a real cool one for me because I got picked to actually work the show. So, you know, I got to meet a lot of the guys very personally because they had Opie was their, what's the name of the guy, Opie? He's pretty famous in the business. He was their tour manager guy. And he was very particular about what he wanted for certain things and how he wanted them. And you know, that's how. And so I made sure that I made him happy. And, you know, and once that's it, you're smooth. You just do what they ask and you're smooth sailing. Don't get in anybody's business and don't talk shit about any, you know, and that's how it works. But it's just there's people who get there who don't belong there, but they don't even bother yourself with why they're there. You know what I mean? They might bother themselves while you're there, but don't let that bother you either. It's not a very inviting field to be in. Like as far as like you have friends, like diehard friends. Because to be honest with you, I mean, if I drop dead tomorrow, maybe 2 out of the 100 guys I even worked with and did a lot of hardcore shit with would even give a shit because they're just that, you know, it's the way it is. You know? And one of the guys died, Ryan, who was one of our friends, and he rose to be a crew chief. And it was really, there was nothing said about it. It was just oh, well, that happened. That sucks, you know. And it happens more and more, and it's just you feel like it's like you wasted a bunch of time with people who really don't give a shit about you. But then again, you got experiences from it that, you know, it doesn't matter what they think because you take away things that you can't pay for some of the things.
Some of the things.
I mean, you know.
Seen and,
I mean, how many of you guys ever fought your way out of a Mexican strip club before they kill you?
I have never done that.
I know a place if you want to try it out. It seems like the way they run the business down there.
Wow.
But yeah, no, it's been pretty good. And then you know, at one point I was here and I was cruising along, doing pretty well and all that, and I had met another girl because I obviously wasn't with the one in Holland anymore, and I had a friend from Holland, Arco, and Arco was like basically the Dutch Bon Jovi in there. He's a real like big rock star over there, really great guy, so funny and so fun, just a genuine person. And when I broke up with my girl, he owned a bar in this. If anybody's been to Europe, they usually have the bars all right next to each other in the center of town, you know, where the church is and all that. And he owned one of those bars that was called On the Rocks at the time. And he said, "You can go to upstairs." They were growing weed. They're done with that, so it was like a secret grow house. So he goes, "But you have to build. There's nothing there but just open rooms." So I went in and I built a kitchen. And there was 3 other rooms that he rented, 1 to me and 2 to those other guys. So I had a place to stay, which was nice. And but as I was there in town, living still at the time with this girl who we broke up. It was a small town. I kept running into her. I was really messing my head up. So one day I came home and I was a little bit crazy, and I decided to paint some giant crazy picture on my wall. It was about as high as this wall. It was really big.
Oh, wow.
And it was a black bird diving straight down with bad year tires on it and the flaming arms or feet, whatever, wings. And then I decided I had to go to the bathroom, and I walked to my it's a warehouse type of setup, so there's the window's open, you can walk right out. I mean, it's a 3-story drop, there's nothing to stop you. So I decided I gotta pee, and I pissed out the window in the center of town at 8 o'clock at night, and there's still people down there eating food at.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Oh my
say
God.
Say it 15 times more. So next thing I know, I mean, I'm naked and covered in paint and all this shit, and I turn around and Arco's standing there, and he goes, "Hey Joey, how you doing?" And I go, "I'm okay, Arco." And then he walks in, he looks at the window, goes, nice heart. And he's like, "You know, I'm keeping people back right now. They're trying to come up the steps to get you." And I go,
Oh, wow.
"What do they want to get me for?" And he goes, "You just peed on everybody." And I thought to myself, "Oh my fucking God." He goes, "Now you have to be gone tomorrow. My marriage is not going to last past tonight if it's not going to happen." And I said, "I'm very sorry. Okay, I'm going." And just like that, I was out of that town. There was a little town in Holland. I lived there for 4 years at the time.
Wow.
And I went to Amsterdam the next day. And I knew some people that were connected with some of the There's a bike gang down there, or club. And there's the Hells Angels, pretty much, they run the red light district. And we used to play, in a side project I had, we used to play for them on Christmas. We did like a Stones tribute thing. And they loved it. We played their clubhouse every Christmas. And the guy said, if you ever need any favors, just ask. And I needed a favor. I needed a job at the time and all that. So I started working at the live sex show for a year, my last year in Amsterdam. And that spun out of control so crazy in that area. The red light district is something that could eat your soul alive. So
Really?
I had one foot in the production business. I was doing like the local places, like the Heineken Music Hall opened up, and the Deftones were the first band to open it up there. And
wow.
It was crazy, yeah. And I can go on about that, but that's a whole other thing. I want to show you something when we've done this.
Okay.
But yeah, so, it was time to leave there. I didn't really have a place to stay. I was kind of staying on a friend's couch, so I went and found a place in Amsterdam. And it was the whole thing I had to go through, show I was legally there, I had to show them I had a job and a bank account, blah, 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 blah. And they gave me a key finally after I had to pay like $6,000 just to get into the place. And that was on September, it was on August 30th. They let me go into the place. And on September 1st, I had moved everything in that night and sold my car because I don't need a car in Amsterdam. And there was a knock on the door at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and two of the biggest guys you ever want to see.
Wow.
Telling me to get the fuck out of this place. What are you doing here? And they handed me a contract. They ripped it. I was just, there's no contract. Get the hell out of here. And they put all my stuff right outside the door. They changed the locks. I took all my things to the elevator, like box by box by box, everything I owned. And I put it on the elevator where I could. I went to the lobby, put it down. I went to go up to get the rest of my stuff, and it was gone. I went down to the lobby, and it was gone. I was left with what I was wearing.
Oh my goodness.
Passport was gone. And I'm in another country. Bank cards. I didn't have nothing to say who I was doing. I had no phone. Everything was in one of the boxes. And you want to talk about feeling gutted? Like really, like totally reset in my head. No car, and of course it's raining. It's Holland. So I walked to the police station, and I try to tell them what's going on. They basically laugh at me, and I go, okay. So now I start talking to the club and say, well, what the fuck's going on? Who are these people? And they go, man, you got caught in a scam that the police are in on. And it's the mafia and the police, that little thing, they've been running it for years.
No way.
And they still do it to this day. So be careful if you ever rent down there.
Oh, wow.
That's right. So that happened to me. And then while this was going on, I didn't want to tell the people I'm working with that this was happening. I was embarrassed. So I was going to the club where I was working. I would take a shower early because they had that for the people who are having sex all the time. It's a sex show. And they caught on it really quick that I was doing that because I was sleeping in the park. It was a really weird situation. And they asked me what happened. I told them. And they while they were looking for another place for me, one of the pimps on the street, who I see walking past all the time, he's like, hey, what's up, man? What's going on? And I said, I need a place to stay. And he says, we're getting ready to switch the hookers out. So maybe we can put you in one of those rooms just temporarily till you can get yourself situated. And he took my last 250 euros out of my pocket. I had like a pretty good amount of money in the bank before I got scammed out of this shit. And I said to him, listen, man, I'm not the person to scam right now. Like, I'm really at the end of my ropes here. And that son of a bitch gave me a bait and switch with the key. And here I am. Literally, again, it happened twice in the same week. I was totally broke. So I knew I had to leave at the time. I had to get out of Amsterdam. But then I hunkered down and worked for another, I had to be almost a year that I stayed there again. But I put a bunch of money away. And I started doing other jobs as you take one. So when I came home to America, I wasn't going to be totally broke. And before I left, there was it was on October 31st, I believe it was. It was a Halloween party, which they don't have many of them, but because Amsterdam is more Americanized. So we went to this party, and I'm singing karaoke and getting pictures of me there, making sure everybody knows I'm at this party. And I snuck away from the party. And the first one I got was the pimp who did this to me. And he used to pick people up, but I don't care who hears it, statute of limitations, kiss my ass. So I watched his routine because he picked up this girl, his wife, or his whoever you call a pimp's person. I don't know what you call it. So his income is what that was. So he would pick her up. It was a one-way street that went this way and one-way street that goes into it. And along there is the canal. And he would stop right at that T. He would block traffic from this way and that way. He didn't care. He's a guy from Lesser Antilles or something. Basically, I followed his routine for a while and found out how he did this, and I followed him. And I was so angry that he did this to me because, I mean, you want to talk about like when you do something to somebody when they're already having a bad time.
Right.
It's a special kind of shitty person, you know.
Right.
So I planned in my head exactly like how I was going to do this. Like it was like literally a step by step, and it worked exactly how I thought I was going to do it. I took a brick from the street and I threw it through his window, and it broke. I reached in this thing, I sprayed him with mace, and then I took his car keys and threw him into the canal, and I headlocked him, pulled him through his car, and threw him into the canal. I got on my bicycle and went back to the party. Sang another karaoke song so as people see me there.
So you had like
an alibi, cover.
Wow.
So then I went and had some food, and I waited until about 5 o'clock when I know that this mobster guy who did this to me is going to be home eating, because Dutch people are very punctual and they're very routine oriented. So I went to his house and I knocked on the door and I asked his wife in Dutch, is Jan here? And she said, "Nee, niet seen him vandaag. I haven't seen him today." And I just said, "I think you're full of shit." And I just walked into the house and I beat this man within an inch of his life in the living room and his kitchen. And he was a big time guy. And then I walked out of there, went to the bar, and one of my friends, who will remain nameless, took me to the airport, Schiphol Airport. I was dressed like Alice Cooper. So I took the top hat and I threw that in the trash. I went to the bathroom, washed the makeup off my face, kept the suit jacket on because, you know, I'm flying home. And I flew home with basically one suitcase that was my whole thing. Everything was gone, you know, that was it. So when I got to New York there, they thought it was suspicious. I was coming here with no clothes and no. I had some clothes, but it was like literally one suitcase full of some shit. But yeah, and then I went back to Holland 16 years later because as I was saying, I ended up meeting another Dutch woman.
Okay. From
the same town, which is so bizarre. I mean, this is a very small town, and I met this girl totally by fluke because of Arco, my friend who was the Dutch guy. He calls me and says, "Hey, Joey, I have a friend. She's traveling through America.
Right.
And she's looking to go through Cocoa Beach. Do you know anybody who can rent her a place?" And I said, "How good of a friend is this?" He goes, "No, she's good people. She's a very nice person and all this." And I said, "Well, look, I'm getting ready to go on the tour. She can just stay at my place." I mean, he goes, "Oh, you sure?" I said, "Yeah, man, I don't care. I mean, if she's a friend of yours for real, she can stay there." And he goes, "Oh, that'd be great, you know, and I'll have her introduce you to her." So I meet her, Iris, and she's a very nice woman. I don't know anything about her. She's very tall and skinny and educated and the whole thing. And so I said, "Look, stay here, make yourself at home, and don't go in that one drawer over there," I tell her, which really nothing there. I just wanted to freak her out. So, so she's what do you call it? She's going to stay there. And I said, you know, like literally make yourself at home. I'm not going to be home for a couple of months. So she's like, "Oh my God, that's so good, and thank you." And I said, "No problem." So I leave her and I go to, I think it was Dallas for Justin Bieber tour, and it got canceled right after we built the stage. We were halfway done the stage, and they said, "Take it down. The tour's canceled." Yeah, it was when he was like, they did something to that kid. I mean, I won't get into that part of it, but there's something wrong, and he had a breakdown, whatever it was, and the tour was canceled like that. So I was back 2 days later, and I'm like, "Oh, hi, I'm back." And she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed." I'm like, no, it's fine. It's just, you know. So she was sleeping on the couch and all this, and I kept saying, "Look, you can sleep in the bedroom. I don't care. I'm not going to, you know, I'll sleep on the couch. I offered you the place."
Right.
And I actually do sleep on the couch anyway. Like, you're
That's
taking
what you
that's
do.
my
It's not
bed.
like-
That's my bed. So we ended up, you know, we got to know each other a little better, and we started watching. It was the World Cup, and Holland was in it, so we went to go watch the game together, and it was kind of, one thing led to another, and, you know, we fell for each other pretty good. And after back and forth, now we're in 2017, I guess it was, we were going to get married. And she went back home and she flew back on August 30th, another August 30th, bad day for me.
And
she flew into Sanford Airport, and they wouldn't let her out of the air terminal. They said she was there working illegally, and it was total bullshit. She wasn't working here illegally, and wasn't doing anything wrong. And they just kept. And what it was a politically motivated thing, because the woman who was doing this questioning was very opinionated about who was just elected to our country. And she kept screaming to her about, Donald Trump this and that. And Iris said, I'm sorry that you don't like the results of your election, but I literally don't vote here. I don't have nothing to say about it one way or another. I'm just here to marry my man. And I guess that wasn't good enough for her. And they put her in handcuffs, and she said at this point, you tell me what you want me to say, I will sign it. And I want to go I don't want to be sitting in jail. And they put her in jail. She's never been in any type of trouble in her life. This woman is like, she was coming back from Belize at the time because she built a playground for kids in the middle of the jungle, and bummed $500 for me to finish it up from here so she can do it. And this is the kind of person they're deporting. So it really freaked me out. So I went to the bank the next day, and they said, sure, you have a house, we'll lend you what you need. Just go home. We're boarding up for the hurricane. And I said, all right, cool. And I figured hurricane will go down to the bank again and get the money. During the hurricane, a tornado came through the neighborhood and totally destroyed my place and took everything that I had again, totally wiped out, start from scratch again. And so my mind was all over the place at the point. I didn't have no place to go. I didn't know what to do. I literally was like in a shock, because I'm just trying to deal with what just happened with the weddings off, and she's not coming back. And now that's on the back burner. I'm just trying to live,
Yeah.
So it was really bizarre. And I thankfully still had a job. So I was going away. 1 minute I'm staying in a 5-star hotel, at work. And then I'm back, for a few days off, and I'm like scrambling, staying here and there. And then FEMA gave me a place to stay for a little while my house was getting fixed. Problem was, my little tiny 600 square foot condo took 18 months to finish.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm paying for that at the same time I'm paying, it's a long time. And I was paying for a place to rent and a place to live, and I'm not working that much anymore. And then one day, I kept having all this pain, and I didn't know what's going on. I just started, man up and get out of bed and shut up. And I couldn't get out of bed one day, and I had to go to the hospital and get checked out. And turns out I had pretty debilitating arthritis.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and real bad. So they had put me on a prednisone, which is a really terrible thing. It's good for some things in the short term, but they've had me on a high dose of this for I think 5-6 months, and it made me gain 130 pounds or something.
What?
In 6 months. I was I didn't even recognize myself.
Wow.
And it also gave me diabetes, congestive heart failure, and glaucoma. So I was going blind and dying at the same time. I was like, what the hell? So I wanted to go off of that and just deal with arthritis, And when I tried to wean off of it, I ended up really putting my body in a shock. So I'm back in the hospital again. I'm dying. All this screwed up shit's happening. And, at the same time, I lost my girl. She's gone forever out of it. And it's not that we didn't care for each other, but I know she'd never come back to this country.
Right.
She knows she's not going to set foot in here because she doesn't want to get treated that way again.
Right.
And I'm not moving back to Holland, because they were changing over there, too. They don't have the freedoms we have over here, and it's really, and if anybody's paying attention, it's really getting a lot worse for them over there. And, so it was a hard pill to swallow. All three of them were like knockout punches, I was like, holy shit. So, the one day, Steve, my friend Steve, came up to me and he said, listen, man, we know you can't work no more, and we know that you're falling behind all your bills, you're ready to lose your place and all. So we decided that we're going to have a benefit for you. And I said, no, I don't want anybody knowing this, And he says, well, we had a meeting about that, and we decided, we knew you were going to say that, and we decided we're going to have it anyway. We should probably just go to it. So it was overwhelming, actually, and so I went to it, and it was really beautiful, and they helped me raise a couple of $1,000 and it saved me. And it also changed my perspective on, because I didn't care at that point if I lived or died. I mean, I lived my life. I did a lot of awesome shit right before I was 25 even. So I was good. And I wasn't going to live in pain like I was, the way I had to live. So, it was really something. It was really something that touched my soul that day. And so, I was still not out of the woods. I was still like, 300 pounds and I couldn't move and work that well. And I was living in a place next to the Pig and Whistle. I was fortunate enough to find it because somebody was moving out and they didn't tell the landlord, and I moved in before they told them they were moving out because it was after a hurricane. Nobody had any places to rent. There was nothing there. So I was good. I got in there for that little time I needed. And, I was talking to Michael Murphy. I don't know if some of you probably might remember Mike Murphy. He was a cook there. Best microwaver in the place. And,
the Pig and Whistle.
Yeah. I used to laugh at him and say he can microwave the best shepherd's pie. So he was there one night and we were talking about he just had a child that he's like really getting to know now because he was away for when he was born. Now he's making a relationship. And he says he wants to start doing something special with him. And I said, well, I'm not going on the road anytime soon anymore, and I have a ton of camping gear and stuff. Why don't you take them like just down to Jetty Park and it'll be something they can do every year, and then when he gets older, you can take him to Georgia or wherever. But for now, he's not going to know the difference if he's in the park or the backyard or whatever. So he's like, yeah, that's great. So they were getting ready to close up. He was getting ready to go home. I left and planned on seeing him the next day. Well, Mike got killed that night going home in a car accident.
Oh, no.
And he was gone just like that.
Oh, no.
And I remember thinking, this is so terrible. And I wanted to do something for his family or him.
Right.
Or his wife. And I didn't even have literally $12 to my name. Like, I had no money at all. I'm struggling too. And I thought there has to be something fucking out there for people to do something when this happens. Because it seems that the restaurant people or the musician type people, they don't have insurance. So Steve kept talking about doing that party again like we did for me. And I said, well, if we're going to do it, what do you think we do it for people who need it and turn it into a legit charity? And that's kind of what kicked it off. And so the second Nugefest was like the one where we started. The first one was for me. The people helped me to give me money. And the funny thing was, I thought people were going to say, I'm like, I don't know, Steve, because I don't want people getting the idea like I'm going around for round two for money. I mean, I didn't want the money to begin with. And I'm there. He's like, they're not going to know. We're going to make them know it's for other people. And I was at the part. The second one, I was there for 5 minutes, and some girl walks up to me drunk and typical Cocoa Beach shit. She goes, "Must be nice to have people just come together, throw a party, and pay all your fucking bills every year, huh?" And I was ready to walk out of the party that day.
Oh no!
So I'm like, that's not what's going on. If you read the poster, it's not really what it's about. So I was like, oh my God. So, but now I just don't give a shit because it doesn't go for me. I know I don't get paid. I don't get any money from it. Nobody does. But we give 100% of it towards the people who need it, and we also.
So it's for musicians and service industry.
Yeah, it's anybody in the service industry. I mean, if you're a dishwasher at the Hyatt, man, whatever. Like, if whatever happens, but there is some obvious stipulations. You have to be in it for a minute, and you have to. It has to be something that's causing you to be out for over 30 days, and
And you have a board that's.
There's a board. I don't pick who gets anything anymore. I didn't want to because I would give it away to everybody. I'm a light touch. What can I tell you?
Right.
So so we have the board members, and it's Jenna and you were on it at one point for a while, and Dan from Jonathan's Pub, and there's Kathy from Pintos. She was on the Joe Renino fund, so they're from the old fund that did the same kind of thing. So, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just a guy who knows how to throw a concert, not raise any money. I can't even keep money.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
You literally just do this.
And it grew from the first year that you were at that one. In fact, can I get the poster and show you?
Yeah.
I think this is one of the coolest things. This was the first year they made a poster for me. And this is, I'll put it out in front so everybody can see it. And this was Nugefest, the very first one.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And they were giving away a Jägermeister machine, and there was the Rand Bullet Dodgers, Love Valley. Oh, you guys were the following year, were you? Or were you on this one? No, you were the
I
following
don't
year.
remember. Maybe it was the year after.
Because
Yeah.
it went bigger from that year. It went
Yeah.
on and on. And that was that. It was Frank made the poster, and he wrote back at Donuts over there. I remember Sandy the cat right there.
Frank OG.
Yeah.
We just did an episode on him a few weeks ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then somebody won the machine, and they had wrote my name on it. I'm like, I don't want a Jägermeister machine in my house. So we Pete from the other bar bought it off us, and he gave it out to somebody else.
Wow.
But that started in January 19th, and it was great.
Project, Bullet Dodgers,
Yeah.
Love Valley, Matt Riley, No Pressure Band,
Yeah.
Seed, all started.
And you know what?
Most of these guys are doing it.
They're still doing it.
Yeah.
With the exception of a couple of them, but here, I'll show you another one. If you don't.
Yeah.
Let me see here. So we went from that year to. Oh, this is what I didn't want to put Steve in front of the in charge of the things because
Right.
he put my face in this second one. I'm like, why? I don't need my face in this. And he made T-shirts that look like this. Now I don't even own one of these because I would never wear my own face on a T-shirt. But here's where it got bigger.
Oh yeah.
Look at how many more people we have now. We have sponsors on this one.
This is.
Juwop, and it was everybody. Look at
What year is this? 2020.
Yep. And
Okay.
Brain Eaters.
Yeah, there's a lot more to see.
All right, you're on the very next one, I believe. Look at all the sponsors on the bottom we had.
Yeah.
So it started really getting legs.
Wow.
Anna, yep.
Oh wow.
Yep. And then
How cool is that?
Yeah, it's cool. Oh, and here's what I was trying to tell the girl on the second one. All proceeds collected go towards something else.
Right.
Not me.
You see that?
It still does. It still
All
goes
proceeds
through.
collected from Nugefest benefit go towards supporting local musicians and service industry workers in time of need.
That's correct. So, no, I'm not getting any money. Then we did and the posters were now, we started asking local artists to draw them. So the next one, we were
Right.
lucky enough to get Mark Longnecker to draw one for us, which was, that was number 4. So here's number 3.
Okay.
So this was number 3. We were trying to bounce around different bars, but a lot of them aren't equipped because it was getting big. And
Which one was this at Jonathan's?
there's you guys on
yeah.
that one.
Oh yeah. There we are.
This was
Yeah.
at the fish camp.
Oh, fish. Oh, okay, that's the first one I did. Yeah,
That's the first one you
yeah,
did. That's
yeah,
right. That's
yeah.
great. And then
Yeah.
we had a couple of people who smoked us on this one, who didn't come by, who didn't stop by or call. Just saying. Hey, he knows who he is. It's all good.
Yeah.
But and everybody you can see there, Love Valley, and Anya did another one. Andrew was there again. Bullet Dodger's always been there. And Natty's been there. And Rain Project. The Rain Project, by the way, has morphed into the Taco Toasters who were there this year.
The taco toasters,
That's what
really?
they're calling themselves.
No kidding.
And then we had Mark Longnecker did the art for the number 4, which was fantastic one there.
Oh wow! Yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah. And this was a really great one. And the bands are all down here. This was a lot of bands on that one. So as you can see, it went from to a lot of bands. I mean, I think how many was on this one? You have can you read it? I don't have glasses.
It's like, well, let's see. They have all the sponsors.
No, these are the bands right here.
Matt Riley, Radar Red, Title Theory, Syndicate. Wow, there's Bobby D and Friends. Karalyn and the Dawn Patrol.
What?
There's Mondo Tiki's, Natty and Common Roots, Rand Project, Bullet Dodgers, Anya and the Green Light, No Pressure, Brain Eaters, Love Valley, Heat Stroke, Selector, Longnecker.
That was awesome. Selector Longnecker. He kind of did some DJ stuff.
True Phonic, TMI, All Star Jam, hosted by Frank OG.
What? Yeah. So that was good.
Yeah.
And then we had number 5, which was, where's 5? Wait a minute. That was 4. This is 5 right here. No,
That's what.
which is this? No, this is 6, right? That's 6. So 5 was drawn by. Let me see. Do I not have that one? Wait, that's the same one. Did we have a 5? I must not have brought it over here from the other shop. I'm in the middle of moving, folks, so I'm very sorry. I don't have the fucking. Oh wait. No, that's not it. Well, here's last year's though. So
This was 6. Okay.
so we had a local artist around here do this one, and that's what we're starting to do now. Have a
Local artists.
I have 5 right here.
Oh.
I have to show you on my shirt.
On your
This
shirt.
is 5. This was drawn by a guy named Sean Logan out of California. He draws all the posters for like the Expendables and Pepper and all them guys, and he did this for us. Steve
Very
arranged
cool.
that. And then this one was the local guy, Danny O. He's over there right now, actually, like 30 feet from me, drawing right now.
Oh.
And I told him I wanted, it looked like a bunch of parties, people were going to a party. It had to have aliens and spaceships. So he has a spaceship, he has aliens coming in, the cat. It's pretty busy. And it's fun. So that's what this thing's supposed to be anyway. So.
Yeah.
And
It is
that
a
year
lot of
we had the Syndicate, Vintage, Love Valley, Another Summer, Hired Guns, Lazarus, Brain Eaters, Cheetah Coalition, Andrew Rickman, Mondo Tiki's, King Breeze, the Bullet Dodgers. Are they on it twice? No. Karalyn, there she is. And Matt Riley and special guest. That was a really good time. And who was that other? I can't read that one. Sonic Rendition. They're good guys. And finally, these guys, they would have been here this year, but Chase is getting married. Congratulations, buddy. And Innuendo and Natty's Common Roots, Grand Charisma, and of course the Sheepdogs.
The Sheepdogs.
Yeah. Frank Double Dipping. So that was a cool one. And I don't think I have one of the other. I do have them somewhere, I guess. But anyway, so yeah, we're building up. So we're on number 7. And hoping that people understand what we're doing and get on board. A lot of people think they know other people, and they'll judge you by a book by its cover.
Right.
But people don't really know what's going on here. I would never take a dime from anybody, and I'm not in this to get any real recognition. I don't give a shit who knows me or not. I have more rock stars in my fucking phone book right now than I can show you. I don't need to be some guy that everybody,
Right.
is giving me any type of like, hey, that's great, because I don't care about that. I just want to be able to help people, because somebody should be out there doing it, and if not me, who else is going to do it? I mean, if everybody just waits for somebody else to do something, nothing's going to get done. So,
Well, the Nuge Fund has helped a lot of people. So far.
I think at this point we've given away close to $80,000.
Wow.
And I mean, and there's a lot of people out there who know that. Like, we give it to them.
Right.
And, and I don't even really give away the checks. I give some of them away when somebody can't make it or whatever. But I remember on Christmas Day, I gave a guy a check in Cocoa. He was working, and he fell down the steps and he had a heart attack. This guy was banged up. And he was working over at the seafood place there.
Okay.
Was it mainly lobster? And I remember thinking, man, that's terrible. Jesus,
Yeah. Christmas Day.
But he was very happy about it, And like, I had his friend who wrote in for him tell him to let him know that somebody's gonna be knocking on the door, because where we were going wasn't the nicest place, and I don't want him shooting through the damn door. So we had a good laugh about that. But the guy was very grateful, and it's just being able to help people is something that's nice.
Right.
That's, to
Definitely.
Me, that's what it's all about. And like I said, when happened to Mike happened, it really it hurt me, because there was nothing I physically or financially couldn't help him do anything about it.
Right.
And I thought there has to be somebody start something. And eventually I'm wearing out, and maybe somebody picks up and runs on with it. You know what I mean? Because this is getting to me too. It's getting a little harder every year to do, and I'm trying to focus on making a little bit of money myself these days, and not dying eating cat food somewhere. No, I mean, but if I can help, every year it gets overwhelming, and then we get back into it. Like today, we had a big meeting, and that meeting inspired me a little bit more to just like let's do this thing and put on a good show.
Right.
And we really literally can't do this. Like, people thank me all the time, and it's like, I have to tell you, don't thank me. I just had an idea. That I have no money to do this with. The people the musicians are doing it, the people who volunteer. I mean, the community who donates, that literally is who's doing this. I mean, I just kind of said, let's all meet here and do it this day, But, it's I couldn't do it without them. Literally, I know it's a cliche, but I literally couldn't.
Right.
And we've had some vendors that like helped us out, and we have some of them who for some reason are staying away from it. Whatever the reasons are. Maybe they don't like me. Maybe they don't like whoever's involved. And you know what? That's their own pettiness, because I can put shit aside, whether you're some this or that, or you don't like the president, or you do like I don't care about that. I'm talking about a common issue that people have. It's a human issue, and we give money to Democrats or we give money to Republicans. It doesn't fucking matter. They need help. So and if you're black or you're a woman or you're gay, it doesn't fucking matter. So people should get off of that shit, because it's ruining our world right now. In case they haven't noticed, I don't know. But I've noticed it.
Well, where can we find? When's the next Nugefest? In a couple of weeks, right?
It is in a couple of weeks. It's going to be on. It's always the first week of April, the first weekend of April. So it's going to be in the 5th at Jonathan's Pub this year, and we're talking about maybe taking it next year to like a park or somewhere where we can get it like a really big thing going. We don't know if we're there yet for that, but it is kind of getting big to where we might want to just like try and make it bigger, you know what I mean? But if the cost outweighs what we're going to bring in, it's not going to be worth it. So for now, it's living at Jonathan's. And honestly, I want to put it out there that my plan in starting this was to take it to a different bar every year and give all the bars a play, and let them make some money, But there really isn't that many big bars in Cocoa Beach that are set up to have. I mean, we have 20-something bands going on in one day, and I work in the music business. We don't do that in the normal people who have money and places and resources. So it's 45 minutes. There's your band playing the best shit they got to offer, and then the next band's on there. And they're going simultaneously. One's playing out front while the other one's playing out back. And I try to break it up to where one might be heavy music and the other one's maybe a little bit somebody else's taste. So it's really hard just schedule to juggle, and thank God that people are pretty understanding of how we get to do this. But it's definitely it's like a Ford production line. It's like get on, get off, get on, get off. But it's a lot of fun, and for the musicians, I know that they've mentioned to me that it's a lot of fun for them too, because they get to see other bands play who they never could, because they're playing themselves.
Play at the same time.
So they play at the same time. And I'm sorry I'm keeping you awake, because we've been started this late. But yeah, and I hope that people understand what we're doing and come out and be part of it. We'd love to see you out there, and
How many people were there last year?
During the day, it's hard to say, because it's thousands, to be honest with you. It really is. They rotate in. Some people are hanging in from the minute we open till the minute we close.
Right.
God bless them.
Yeah.
And some of them will come in and they'll get a little bit, and you'll see them by the end and they're back. And some don't come until later in the day. They miss the day first. So the funny thing is with the bands, a lot of them are like, oh, I want to be this spot. They don't realize, like, some of the best spots are like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. That's when it's like totally slam packed, and they're asking for the end of the night. A lot of people can't hang on, So they're all good spots.
That's a good point.
Yeah, they're all good spots, man. Matt Riley opened it up for a bunch of years.
Yeah.
And then he did something with his father last year, and it was really great. So this year, because he had a thin issue going on with himself.
Yeah, he had a medical issue.
And it was really bad. It was a very scary time for him. And I wanted him to be part of it if he was up to it. So he said he was, and I wanted to put him right back to starting it off today, because he's always has he's happy. He puts a smile on your face.
He's
You know what I mean? Like, he's upbeat.
Very upbeat.
Yeah, exactly. He's not singing about doom and gloom and your girlfriend leaving you and all that shit. That's for later in the day.
That's for later. That's funny. So where can we find some information about Nugefest? Do you have a website?
We have a website that needs to be updated. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, because we dropped the ball in a lot of places this year, and it's just, I can go on why, but it doesn't matter. It happened, and we're trying to fix it. We have the nugefund.org, and you can check out some of the past pictures and of events and things. That's one place, and it's on Facebook too. Just look up Nugefest or Nugefund, and that's being updated pretty much. Jenny keeps up on that, and some of the girls do that one. And to be honest with you, I'm really a social media idiot. Like, I don't even. I know I should be on Facebook every day engaging with. I don't even look at it for weeks at a time, months at a time. I have messages from people trying to reach me, and I'm like, I'm very sorry. I really am. I'm just not.
Confessions.
Yeah, I'm terrible at it. That's just, I mean, if you really want to reach me, you can reach me. People have my phone number. I think it's actually on Facebook. You just go there and call me, and and I would call me because I don't even look at my text either. I'm terrible. I probably got 50 unanswered
regular
texts.
phone calls.
Regular old phone calls work for me. Yes, sir. Man.
And so make sure you check out the website, the Facebook page.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what I'd like to make a point too. Like, honestly, there's a lot of work, and there's a team behind me that makes this happen. So it's not me doing it. I want to emphasize it is the people I'm involved with that make this happen. Because I don't, Dan orders the T-shirts, and that's not where I come from. That's not my thing. He's the barber who deals with that stuff, so he knows how to talk to people like that. So that's why when we put this together, I really tried to pick people who would help this cause for what they were good at doing. And I know what I could bring to the table, and I think we had to hone our skills a little more on a communication level of it, and I think it's going to be a really big thing that's going to be very helpful for a lot of people. One of the things I'm kicking around, if anybody wants to give me any feedback on this, is I want to start a barroom Olympics, okay, for like the people in the restaurant business or even hotels, whatever. I want to get a teams of 4. You can even have multiple teams from the same place, and we go somewhere like Wickham Park, and maybe you have like the obstacle course where you got to run your drinks through.
Wow, how cool.
Something like that, and maybe like a speed drinks or something that may. So I want to think of a couple of events and maybe and have cash prizes for the teams that win. And have some bands playing it, make it a thing out of it, and of course if it's for bartenders and music, we're gonna have liquor there and all that. So, and I think we're gonna maybe do a second event a year like that. So
that might be coming up this year.
Yeah, I'm hoping to do it.
Wow.
We're planning this out. Yeah, I want to because I want to invite like this fund is for Brevard County. It's not just a Cocoa Beach thing, and. We have given money out to people outside of Cocoa Beach and Cape Canaveral, but I don't think people realize, and we don't tend to ask them for any money outside there because we don't know anybody out there, So I think it would be more nice if people throughout the county actually contributed or helped us raise money, and that might be something they're interested in being part of to raise the money. If that makes any sense,
Right. Yeah.
I'm becoming charity savvy now.
Yeah, now that you've been doing it for 7 years?
6. The first one was for me. I was
okay, you didn't do that.
receiving end.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's getting a little more like clear. Like this works, that doesn't work, and maybe we should do this and that. And still, we're learning things, but
right.
I'm really eternally thankful to the bands that do this because a lot of these guys they would not do this normally, and. I think they know enough, they talked enough that they know that we're legit about it. We're giving money to people when they need it. And as long as they're legitimately need it, there's not even a question. It gets voted on, and I've rarely seen too many people get turned down who needed it and had a job or whatever it was. So, and we're getting more people to find out about it now, so we're getting hit really hard now. So we're actually down right now before we have $1,000 left in the bank at this moment.
Oh wow!
And we're only a week away, so we're broke.
How much did you make last year?
I think it was almost close to 27.
Oh wow!
Like
so you've been giving away a lot of money.
Yeah, we gave away almost $70,000.
It's good use.
Start, yeah. And we had to spend some of it, of course, on production. We can't ask a sound company to put thousands and thousands of dollars of equipment out there, and 2 guys that sit there in the sun for 18 hours and not give them anything.
Yeah.
So there's expenses. We have permits for the city, and we rent extra toilets for the porta potties. So there's expenses that we just can't not incur. The porta potty doesn't care if we have this event because they're not from here. They're like, you want to rent a toilet or not? So we have to do that.
Cool, good cause, but hello.
Give us our money. Exactly. So there's some things that are unavoidable, but our books are wide open if anybody has any doubt about what we do here. And I really was hurt and insulted by it at first when people would say shit about it. thinking that we're robbing and stealing the money and doing whatever they think we're doing it. And at this point, I don't give a shit what anybody thinks because I know who I am, and I know who people are who think that are actually the ones you should probably look at. You know, but I don't even care about them either. I know what we're trying to do here, and I'm not letting anybody
just focus on your
twist that shit up.
goal. Yeah,
you know what I mean. We know what we're doing.
Good stuff. It's done. For
yeah, I'm trying to do something good. Stop fucking with me. What's the matter with you people?
You never win.
And and you know what? Some of you are out here watching. Start donating too. Don't be such assholes. You know how many times we've given bars 2 or 3 of their employees money, and they don't even want to entertain giving us anything to help kick in the fund. You know, you cheap bastards, and you know who you are too, and I know who you are. But I'm not going to write your names in the bathrooms yet and shame you. But I'll give you another year that you come on board here, and then I will.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah,
Cool.
but, you know, I mean, it's just. I think when Steve left this thing, and it was a little bit weird. I mean, you know, we were just going a different direction, and it confused a lot of people, and it was. We lost some sponsorship that way, which was kind of crappy, but. You know, we are back on track in that as far as that. And I would hope someone would come back because they don't know the full stories, and it doesn't matter what the story is. That part's over, and we're moving beyond it. And we're still what the core mission was to do in the beginning, is to help people. So if they want to get back on board, we'll let them in.
Yeah. Well,
we'll let you back.
Cool.
We'll let you come back.
Well, forgiveness.
Right,
Yeah.
we'll forgive
Get
you.
Get over everything.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it's about?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not for anybody's ego or any of that
No.
shit. It's really never what it's, and that's the kind of part that did irk me a bit. Like it was like a lot of egos getting thrown around here, and it's like the last thing that I had in my mind when it was started was like right about it.
Why do I have an ego about charity work?
It's charity.
Yeah. Well, thank you for all you do.
Well, thank you for
and
all your
career.
time you spent with us too. I mean,
No,
I know every
definitely.
time you've played for us at these things, you had another gig to run to, or you were coming from one. You know, so that was
I know.
very
It
nice.
was. Thanks for having us.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah. So everybody, make sure you make it out to Nugefest, April 5th, at Jonathan's Pub, in Cocoa Beach.
Yep, from 12 till 2 o'clock in the morning. It's insane.
Wow, that's
yeah,
insane.
it is insane. So pick your time slot or come on out with a lot of sleep and be ready to go.
Yeah, camp out.
Hey, we literally had a camper out there last year. So, in fact, I'm going to talk to, if anybody on here from, what's the name of that place at the top of the 95 there? The Camper World or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Camping World, if you're listening, I'm coming up to see you tomorrow and see if you'll donate a camper for the night, for the weekend, so we can use it as a production trailer.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That way I can stay on site and keep an eye on
Keep an eye on everything. Yeah.
If you'll do that for us, we'll put you as platinum sponsors. How's that sound? And you can have one of your salesmen come out there and talk everybody's ear off.
And a t-shirt.
Hey, we'll give you a t-shirt. I'll give you a t-shirt too. I got to talk over with some of the board members because they're against that, but I think they may make an exception.
Yeah, and a free RV.
Yeah,
Weekend.
we don't want to keep it. We just need it for 2 days.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all. Yeah, and we'll respect it. But I thank you for coming out here and doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's-
Wicked cool warehouse.
Thank you.
Cool.
I just moved in here, so it's not quite up to what it should be, but it will be in another week.
Yeah.
Of like 24-hour day runs now.
Yeah.
I've been cranking it out down here, and
Okay.
I need to get it running because that's how I can make money to pay for it. So it has to be up and running. That's why I'm doing it.
It's kind of a thing.
Yeah. But this is a place that's like my solitude. I don't really go out too much or go. I mean, not that I don't like people. I have other things that I'm interested in.
doing,
Yeah. And I started getting into doing some artwork and learning how to play piano and other things that just,
Yeah, he's got a piano right here.
I do. And one in my house.
And a
too.
drum kit in the back.
And I have a really cool one here, though. See the shark riding the.
Oh, yeah.
Let me show this one.
Yeah.
I thought this was funny, and I made a cocktail thing like this when I was playing with Josh.
Oh, wow.
So it's let's see,
It's a shark.
a shark riding a bear shooting a machine gun.
Oh, my God.
It's got a lot of stuff going on. He's smoking a cigar.
How cool is that?
But the guy kind of messed me up. He cut the bear's head off.
You cut the bear's head
What are you
off.
gonna do? You forgive
Put on
him.
the
I
shark.
forgave him.
It's about forgiveness.
It's about forgiveness. But yeah, but yeah, I do appreciate you coming out here and doing this and helping us do some advertising with it.
Yeah.
When at one time we had the guy who would fly the plane down to the beach for us, and I just kind of lost the angle on that guy. How to do it. I think they're like a corporation now, so whoever you talk to is like not even in the same state.
Oh, it's not. Okay,
So
it's not just like
switchboard or something.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
So if anybody has a plane that wants to tie a rag on the back of it for us, I'll paint it. And you guys can
Nugefest
fly around the
7.
beach for us. We'll give you money for gas.
Nugefest 7.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
Thank you so much, Joey.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it, Karalyn.
Yeah.
It's great to see you again. And,
Yeah, great seeing you.
Yeah, well, to see you out there again. Where are you playing next?
I am going to be at, let's see, the band's going to be at Island Waterfront on Friday.
Okay.
Merritt Islands, yeah.
That is the one across the bridge, or something you going across there?
Across the bridge.
So
From
somebody's
Island
going.
Tire.
Okay, so it's the opposite side, right?
Yeah, opposite side.
Okay, because I get to see confused once in a while.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
How's that place? Is it okay to play over there?
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, good time.
Still play Pintos over there?
I've not played in Pintos in a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe talk to Kathy about that, Kathy.
Not putting anybody on the spot.
No, I will. I don't care. I'm putting everybody on the spot at this point. But yeah, no, that's great. And I mean, you're kicking ass too out there, and I do appreciate you doing this for us because I don't think about things like this. And to me, when you said it, I thought it was a great idea. So.
Oh, I'm glad you thought it was a great idea. Because I was like, this is coming up. This might be.
Yeah, it was,
cool.
and I'm not. My mind was really on so much other things going on privately that I let a lot get away this year, which will be not happening again. People are going to help with this next year in the right way.
That's good.
It's going to be fun. So come on out and have a blast, because I'm telling you, man, there's no party like it. There's no party like it.
It's fun party.
And I've been to some parties. I tried to get Ted Nugent to come here one year because no, he just wasn't able to do it. I wrote a letter to somebody who got it to him, and he responded to me. So I am actually still working on that one of these times, and maybe he'll pop in.
If you ask him enough.
Well, if you ask him enough, and he doesn't, you don't get a restraining order against you, and he happens to be in town. But he was playing the King Center actually, but it was the wrong time of the year.
It wasn't that. Okay.
It wasn't happening for it, so
Yeah.
I try to just get him in his idea, in his head that it's happening. So maybe if we hit the 10-year mark or something, he'll see it's a real thing.
Move it to the time he's going to be at.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll ambush him. If he's still out playing, though, because after he retires.
You never know.
You could drag him in for one last hunt. As
Yeah.
Right on, man. So I will, see you. Are you gonna? Oh no, you're not playing this year. You're playing.
No,
somewhere.
we got another show. Yeah, in the middle. But I'll probably stop by after.
Yeah, if you can pop in for sure. You know that. I'll put a shirt aside for you.
To what? Oh, you get.
For the shirt.
Oh, I'm gonna have a shirt.
Yeah, I'll sneak you a shirt for the advertising. It's a trade. It's a trade off. So.
Yeah, totally. That's cool because you guys have some really cool shirts.
I know this is a really great one actually. This kid, he painted the whole building at Facebook in California.
No
also,
way.
he did like the entryway when you go in there. It's like a really involved. It's really great. Man, unfortunately, I didn't unpack some of this crap I have. I don't even know where it's at the moment. But I have a picture from the Expendables when we went out to go hang out with them one day. And I said, hey, you guys got any?
How cool is that?
You got any one of those little posters you have? Yeah, I want to sign one. And he says, oh man, we don't have any left. We just sold them all at the show. And Sean goes, I'll draw you one up. And he drew me one up right there on the spot. And then they all signed it. Yeah, it was pretty neat.
How cool.
It's pretty neat. That's one of the things I have somewhere around here that I got to dig out of one of his boxes. And that was a nice memory. And those guys actually introduced me to the guys from Slightly Stupid.
Oh.
Who were calling me sir and all this. And I'm like, don't call me sir. What's the matter with you guys? Because they were like, I don't know, they seemed like they're like fucking 14 at the time. I think they were like 18, 19 years old. And they were opening up for the Expendables at the time. And I met the Expendables through Pepper, who they were opening up for them. So it's kind of watching these kids grow up to the musicians they were nailing. It's really something else. Man.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it really is. It's nice to see that.
Yeah.
And but I never forget they would call me. I never felt old until then. I was like, dude, don't call me. Call me sir. What?
Call me sir.
No, don't do that. I'm totally irresponsible. I know people's kids are more responsible than me. Yeah, don't be a roadie or a pirate. Actually, yes, go ahead and do that if you want to have fun. But you won't have a retirement.
You won't have a retirement.
Not unless you're union or you're real smart. Because most of the guys I know blow their money or they die before they have to worry about it. You know.
Oh.
So it looks like I'm going to make it to the other side for now. So I got to think of another plan here. You know, making my little signs or whatever I'm doing here. You know.
That's the warehouse.
Yes. Maybe I'll start breeding cats or something.
Oh, there you go. In the back there.
Yeah, sheep. Anybody want to buy some sheep hair? Wool?
Come to the warehouse.
Come to the warehouse.
By the port.
Oh my God. I gotta come. I'm gonna have to ask AI for what was my next move here. Open up a candy store or something for the tourists.
I need money.
Yeah, how do I pay for this warehouse? Prostitution ring. Here we come.
This is not what's happening.
No, just kidding. No. Disclaimer. That's not happening.
Just kidding.
Yeah, no prostitution rings. Oh, goodness.
Well, thank you, Joey.
Thank you again.
Well, thank you for watching another episode of Everything Music with Karalyn. We had Joey Nugent today. Thank you.
Thank you, folks, for listening to my nuts, my ramblings, and my crazy.
Very interesting. And check out Nugefest, April 5th.
Please come out. Have a good time.
We'll see you out there. And we'll see you next time, guys.
Come by and say hello, and I might buy you a beer. You got to tell me that you see me for the podcast.
From the podcast, yeah.
Then I will buy you a beer. I promise you.
Possibly a t-shirt.
No t-shirt.
No
t-shirt. You're paying
just
for that.
Beer.
I'll buy you a beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nugefest, April 5th.
Yes, be there or be square.
There. Jonathan's Pub, Cocoa Beach.
Cocoa Beach, people. It's going to be the only theme in town. Every other bar might as well not open that day, and you all freaking know it, too. You all know it. That's right. I'm serious. Well, maybe the people who can't handle the crowds will be there, so you'll have quietness. Which is not what you want in a bar.
In Cocoa Beach.
In Cocoa Beach, that's right. So,
we'll see you later, guys.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Toodles.
Toodles.